Yeah. Yeah, things change. I guess that's part of life. That's part of our life, that things will change.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing you can always count on, huh? Change. Unless, of course, you ask Obama to do it.
Did you hear what she said? She said, unless you ask Obama to do it.
I said that's one thing you can always count on is change.
You know, Obama had a program on today that I liked.
He did?
The presentation of a Congressional Medal of Honor to a private first class who lost a hand, and anyway, so his action probably saved the rest of his company.
Wow.
It was in Afghanistan, and he was there, and his parents.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I thought finally he did something I liked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall asleep soon.
Well,
That's because you're laying down.
you're in the
Oh,
prone
yeah.
position, Mariel.
Get up.
You know,
do
when
some
Colleen was a
jumping
baby,
jacks.
if I put my hand like this on her, or I'd put my hand on this like her, it like soothed her and she'd fall asleep.
That is
She still likes
easy.
that. She still likes that. I mean, if
If I had done that to Matt when he was little, he would have been fighting me. Get off of me! Get away!
That's funny.
Especially if he knew that it was an attempt to get him to sleep. Then he'd really fight it.
Oh. Well, Davy was
Funny
not
different
too.
They are.
Davy was not easy to get to go to sleep either, but we had a babysitter that I always thought she was such a good babysitter, Johanna. And for a while she was a high school girl, and she would make nice to him. That she would like stroke his face like this, and then she'd slow it down. She'd say nice, nice, and just keep on nice. And so then Davy always said, nice me, nice me. So we would all have to. So we would have to nice him. We would have to stroke his face nice and slow. But it would really help him like calm down long enough where all of a sudden it's like gunk, he'd fall asleep.
Let's do that when he comes
I
in.
always made you do that.
Yep, we would nice everybody.
Make nice. I remember.
Not
Teresa
make
was
nice, we would nice him.
Nice.
Not
Matt
make
would
nice.
fight falling asleep so much, and when we lived in Pittsburgh, and we would come back to Akron once a month for Steve's his duty up in Cleveland. You know, he was in the reserves, and one time it was like a Sunday. We were getting ready to go back, and we were eating dinner at Mom and Dad's. We were around the table. He was in his high chair, and he was really acting obstinate. And I apologized. I said, "I'm sorry. He's really tired." And he heard that, and he was like, I'm not tired. I'm not tired. I'm not tired. And then like a minute later, his face was literally in his food. And we all just laughed.
How about the time Peter fell asleep standing up and he had his head on the couch at Christmas time? And we got a picture of it. Do you remember that in the TV room? He was like this. And then he had his head on the couch, and he had fallen asleep, and he just was like that. You know what's weird is when Colleen was little, she, like when I had to bring her to the babysitters, the babysitter, Colleen. Call from Colleen.
Whoa.
Excuse me. Hello?
Mom used to like to talk about
Oh,
when
I'm
she'd
sorry.
go to
Where's the
mass
hair?
in the morning,
You've been at
and
the
one of the
pool all day.
Friedels came down and babysat until she came home.
Uh-huh.
And if she'd come home from the hospital,
Yeah.
she was held up for a while, so she wasn't there. But when it came time, the Friedel boy went back home to go to school. And Mom comes in all upset and says, who's watching the house? And Joey said, I am. him quiet is to get a hold of a catalog and give him a pencil.
Yeah, he could circle what he
Mark
wanted.
what you'd like to have in there.
You know, we actually did that.
Now the catalog was full of X's.
We would do that with the kids. We'd get this toy catalog every year from Fleet Farm, and the J.C. Penney catalog at their Christmas catalog.
Yeah.
And we would give. I don't know if you remember it or not, Mariel, but I know I remember giving the kids that we'd give them like a crayon or a marker or something and tell them to go ahead and just circle the things you think Santa Claus might want to bring to you or whatever. And they would sit for hours circling all the things they might want.
I don't know if I really did that all that much.
I think they stopped sending the J.C. Penney catalog after a while. Like they stopped the Christmas catalog because people were, I don't know, whatever, marketing reasons. But, oh, yay.
Yeah, you don't get those catalogs anymore, do you?
I get some catalogs, you know, and then when I look at the cost that it must be to print these things up, to have the models, but now online, I mean, but it's still nice to just sit there and flip through sometimes.
Yeah, I like that too.
But they'll send a catalog, it'll be the exact same thing from the last catalog you got, except that they'll move like the you know, like one type of clothing to the front and the other to the back. They'll just rearrange it a little bit.
J.C. Penney and Montgomery Ward catalog.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was saying Colleen would never ever sleep for the babysitter. We tried everything. We thought maybe that she was uncomfortable in the porta crib, so we got a new mattress for it. We got, you know, similar blankets.
Now, what babysitter was this, or just?
This was this woman that lived out by where Joe and Nicole live. It was before their development was built.
Okay.
But just nothing would, she said she'd just cry all day. She couldn't get her to soothe her or anything. And then I got this tape where I gave her a copy of the tape that I always sang to Colleen, you know, and all these songs and stuff. And then she wouldn't eat for her very well either. And my mother-in-law said, she goes, because a couple of times when she couldn't babysit, my mother-in-law had her, she said, I have never seen a baby this young just decide she's not going to sleep because she's not at home. And then she'd come home, I'd bring her home at night, and she'd nurse, and she'd fall right to sleep. But she was losing weight and all this stuff, so finally we had a babysitter come into our house, and then she did much better.
She just didn't like being in a new environment.
She did not want to be in a new environment. It was weird, isn't it?
It is strange.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean,
Isn't it
it's just,
weird?
I mean, it's just interesting because you forget that kids can be that there can be these things at work so early in their life, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I had to work in Pittsburgh, and I only worked part-time, so some days I'd stay home, some days I'd go into work. But on the days I went to work, I would wear my contacts, and when I was going to be home, I'd wear my glasses. So it got to the point where Matt would look at me, and if I had my contacts in, he'd look up and he'd go, "Put your glasses on." Because it meant I was working that day and he didn't want to go to the babysitter. He wanted to stay home.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah, we laugh about it now, me and Steve. Put your glasses on. Put your glasses on.
Oh, that's funny.
And he liked it. I mean, you know, they had a couple of kids around his age and he'd play with them, but then I felt so guilty because, you know, the babysitter told me that when I leave, he would watch out this window that I went by and he'd watch me leave. And then around 3 o'clock when it was getting near time for me to come pick him up, he'd go to that window and he would just look out, "Mommy, Mommy." He knew I was you know, due back sometime soon, and he would just look out that window all sad. And then it was like, oh, I've got to figure out a way to stay home, you know. So
Yeah, I stayed home.
I
as soon
saved
as
up
I
my
could,
money,
you
and
know.
then when Peter was born, I stayed home with both of them.
Well, I would take the kids to Eva's, and the kids
Oh,
are
yeah.
pretty okay with Eva and everything like that. But then Joey started deciding that he did not want to go, and he would do the dead man thing where he would just like, he wouldn't get out of his car seat. He would hold on to everything. I was trying to get him out of the car seat. I was pulling him by his legs, like 2 legs, as hard as I could possibly pull him. And he'd be holding on to something else. And then he'd just do this thing where, I mean, seriously, he weighed a ton. I couldn't hardly move him. He would just go all limp on me, and I couldn't get him to go in. And once he was there, he was fine. But he preferred to not have to do that. He wanted to be home, you know. So, but we still made him go. So,
You know, remember when Mariel was born and I came out, and it's so funny because Colleen and Joey would just, they didn't get, you know, they would.
well, no, because they were both pretty little,
Yeah, they were both 2 years old,
and they didn't have to.
close in age, and
Yeah,
but I remember.
91.
I don't know if you want this on
Oh,
tape.
no, that's okay. They were fighting constantly.
Yeah, but it's like, so I would help by taking care of Joey, so you could take care of Mariel, and so I would be changing his diaper, and I remember thinking, I have never met a kid that can poop so much. He needs to like poop 5 times a day. And I thought,
He's still the same, and he takes after his
And-
father.
and remember he used to love to put on other people's shoes all the time.
Mhm,
He's always
mhm.
putting on shoes.
Yes, he'd be walking around, like, if you couldn't find your shoes, you'd just go look, and there'd be Joey walking around in, like, your shoes. I forgot
remember
about
one time
that.
Joseph Anatoli put on a pair of my high heels, and he was in his diaper, and then he had sunglasses on, and I think, you know, one of those toy bubble pipes, you know, that it's like a pipe that you used to blow bubbles with.
Yeah.
And he had this like fishing hat on, and he was standing there. He thought he was so cool with his, you know, high heels and diaper.
Oh, that's funny. Isn't it funny, though, how I actually forgot that Joey used to do that, and he would have Dave's shoes, and he'd be outside with them. I mean, if you couldn't find your shoes or boots, he had them on. I mean, they would be huge. We'll have to see if we have some movies like that when we finally, switch all of our movies to DVD.
You're gonna have to give us copies of some of your DVD movies of some of the different things you've taken.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
That's like I was going through some photos. I was looking at because I wanna do something for above our couch.
Mhm.
So I was going through photos of stuff, and I was looking through my Wyoming photos, and then I had some photos of that time when I was there. So I have a picture of Colleen, Davy, and Joey in the bathtub.
I think we might have a picture of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of sunny.
Yeah, it is. It's nice.
Oh, see me, Chris?
I know. Look at Teresa.
It's
Teresa's
very sunny.
tanning.
I can barely
She's
stand it.
Would you like me to put the blind down?
No, I'm all right.
Okay. Tired.
Don't do it.
What's she
No,
doing?
she's doing close up.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the food between my teeth?
Nope. But boy, I can barely see anything anyway because of all that sun in my eyes.
So, Dad, don't let us keep you up if you feel like going to bed.
This is a late night.